I was recently reviewing a couple of videos that I see on YouTube. You know, a lot of people they get the information from many different sources. Uh, but I think one of the main sources that I use for all types of educational and research, entertainment across the board, I use YouTube. I mean, it's just amazing. But um, one of the things that you'll be able to watch is, in my opinion, the total moral decay of society. Um, there's two parts of this that I want to examine because it's very interesting. Um, I think Chicago or one of the major cities. I couldn't even tell you. Um, Woman is talking with a man, and as the story goes, uh, this man attempted to make a pass at this woman. Whether she's ratchet or not doesn't matter. Um, and this man gets rejected by this woman. And as the story goes, this man proceeds to pick up a brick and smash this woman upside the face. Huge uh, protrusion. Yeah, jacked her up. And there's two things there's three things that's going on here. Number one, um, which I found very interesting was a man thinking that it is appropriate, okay, uh, to take a brick and go upside a woman's head simply because she was rejected or she rejected him. Um, I'm from New York City and Brooklyn, New York, and let me tell you, um, growing up and communicating with women, let me tell you, being from New York City, I can tell you that the women out there, even back then, and I hear similar stories today, but uh, in terms of rejection and uh, really doing you in, uh, a Brooklyn woman will do it to you. She'll definitely do it to you. She will jack you up. A Queens woman will do it to you. Out there is just it's just greasy. Um, and so I understand rejection. I've rejected and I've been rejected. Probably as a man been rejected more than I've ever rejected. So that's just how it is. So you have to develop some thick skin, especially being out in New York City, because I'm telling you, women out there, they'll crush your spirit in rejection. Um, but this man has chosen to get in his feelings, and because he can't take rejection, probably was fantasizing about this woman, probably knew this woman, looked like she do TikTok or something like that, and couldn't take the rejection, and therefore he felt that it was appropriate in his mind that he should take a brick and go upside this woman's head. Where's the moral and value system? Who raised this man? Um, because see, situations like this, what it's doing, you say 330, 340 million people in the continental United States, one isolated incident, but you see the moral decline, and these things they're like bellwethers, or they're like I don't know if that's the appropriate term. They're like warning signs of the decline, because although this situation or situations like this must have happened in the past, it's interesting to see the dynamic of what's going on in the minds of the person who's perpetuating it, the person that is receiving it, and the others that are watching around. Now, this woman got hit with a brick by a man, and there were other men standing around. No one did anything. No one did anything. See, this is another dynamic that we have to look at. Why is it that no man stepped in and said, you know what, this is wrong? You're not going to do this to this woman. What's going on in the minds of men? Because see, you hear again men saying, when if a woman don't need a man, if she don't need a man, she this that and the third or whatever, then she doesn't need a man to protect her. And what you're seeing more and more is men not engaging in any kind of altercations as a direct result of the victimization or demeaning of a woman, particularly a black woman. Although we see it happening across the board. What's going on there? I have three daughters, and I would think that as they grow up, they will heed the warnings of their father and conduct themselves in a certain manner when they go out in public. Because when we go out in public now, and I expect this to continue on to the king comes, that my daughters carry themselves with a certain level of etiquette, decorum. That they're sweet, they're reserved, they have a humility. They know their place. They know how to interact with the world at large, and it's my responsibility to teach them these things. So when I see, in contrast, the kind of woman this woman portrays or puts herself out there to be, um, to the world, you can see her TikTok videos and whatever Instagram or whatever it is that you do. You can see the character and the mannerism. Just looking at the video, you can tell a lot about what a person values, what their interests are. All these things is a direct result of just watching people's social media accounts. But it's interesting to see that dynamic as well, that no man stepped in um, to protect this woman that's been victimized. And then, last and not least, that's why I talk about my daughters, is that um, not only that, but what was her attitude? What was her behavior? What was her outlooks on things? How did she engage the situation? Could she have avoided that situation? Could she have not been there? Any number of things. Could she have dressed differently, or any number of things? I'm just throwing anything out there that could have prevented this kind of situation. But however, it seems as though this man felt as though she was the kind of woman that he didn't have to show any respect for. Um, and I don't condone putting one's hands on a woman unless it's in self defense. I don't believe anybody has the right to just attack you without you meeting or subduing that threat with man or woman, um, or able-bodied child. Um, you have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You have a right to defend yourself from and your loved ones against anybody that may think that they're gonna do them harm. But we're looking at the mind of this woman. How did she conduct herself? What could have been done? We're asking all ourselves these questions. And it's just amazing just to see all these dynamics come together. And it sums up, what's going on in society as a whole. we're seeing the moral decline of women. We're seeing the moral decline of men. We're seeing the moral decline of groups of people and people. With all this mass robbery going on, you see people, groups of people going into stores and just snatching shit and running out. Um, this is more and more frequent. This is more and more common. This is indicative of a societal collapse, which we're experiencing here, in this country, um, and we're going to see it. We're going to continue to see it unfold because this goes to the larger issue of the moral decline that we're seeing in this country. Um, it's pretty sad. It really is. Um, what are the solutions? Come out, come out, come out from among them. Come out of these major cities. Um, uh, Live a more peaceful and set apart life where you can live in peace and grow your own food, hunt, uh, practice, uh, store food, um, grow your family. Uh, I think these are solutions. I think these are things that we all should be doing. I'll say in closing, somebody, I asked a question to them, and I said, if you don't think that these are the solutions that we should be doing to deal with the economic, social, political, spiritual decline that's happening here in the West and across the world, um, show me what is your solution. Um, what is your game plan? I'm really like the knowing, and they accuse me of being sarcastic. This what but I sincerely wanted to know what their solution was, but all I got was a bunch of deflection. Because when people have no real solutions, this is what they do. This is how they perform. They deflect. They guilt, shame, condemnation, need to be right. All this stuff they do. Deflection. You think you're better. All this stuff they use as opposed to just saying, I may not agree with what you're doing. However, this is what I'm doing, and it works for me. I never get that kind of response. Why? Because they have no solutions. But yeah, the moral decline. Woman gets a brick put across her face simply because she rejected this man in his advance.